Saving trees, hugging whales, kissing hands, and shaking babies, frothing at the mouth, chomping at the bit, drool dribbling down our chins, stacked on one another like hermit crabs crawling out of a bucket. We are god damn champions. Thank you for joining me on Hardest Part of the Ring. We're talking about the Monday, November 2nd edition of WWE Raw, the Hulu version, as always, where sometimes you'll see commercials with Chase Bank featuring popular comedian Kevin Hart, who trained under Stu Hart in the popular Hart Dungeon in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. A lot of people do not know that. Obviously, this show is a few days late, and why wouldn't it be? I live in America, and we have a thing going on right now. Why would you be paying attention to this? I don't think both of my listeners are going to be too upset with me. Um, Actually, yeah, shout out to Mark in Ireland and Chris in the Netherlands. Thank you guys for humoring my madness. I am much appreciated. And let's talk about Raw. Okay, let's waste no. Oh yeah, actually, you know what the hell with it. Yeah, if you're hearing this and you live in America, I hope you chose not to vote for blatant stupidity, negligence, nepotism, or racism. And if you did, I don't know what to tell you. But it is what it is, and I am what I am. And I cried when I had no shoes till I met the man who had no feet. Let's move forward. We open this show with Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. What? How is that possible in 2020? We open every show like that because that's the first thing you see at the Then Now Forever signature, and forever is how long this entire ordeal felt. We have a package of Randy Orton, and then after looking at Orton's package, Randy Orton has a microphone. No way. It's nice to finally open WWE Raw with Randy Orton and a microphone, or any main event person talking for 3 days. Actually, before we get to the mic, did I mess this up? Who cares? There's a hip hop opening. It's hip with the kids. You know, they're moving and they're grooving and they're shaking and they're bopping and they're letting dogs out and they're doing macarenas and they're moving to the left and doing an electric slide and it's a whole thing and they're living la vida loca. I'm hip with the kids. I know what I'm talking about. And I love this song. It's catchy. I hate the video production. What? How do you hate WWE video production? It's the greatest thing in the world. Blah, 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 blah. Here's why it's sucking the near graying hair off my balls. Okay? Every single shot of every star. It was Drew, it was Alexa, it was Orton, it was Fiend, it was The New Day, you know, and yada, yada, yada. Very good. Every single shot was them standing there doing their pose. Not one of them was an action shot. Do you remember WWE Raw used to be so exciting? For some reason, on one of those 93, 94 squash tag matches, Head Shrinker Fatu jumped off the top rope and splashed a dude on the floor, which was insane. And the cameraman had it from an angle where Fatu damn near hits the camera. And they used it for years because it was just so intense. And then we don't see any of that anymore. There's no Drew hitting his Claymore. There's no Randy hitting his burping up some ice cream. There's no Randy Orton hitting his RKO. There's no Shayna choking somebody. There's no Asuka when she used to spit the green mist. She's not doing that. Where's all of that? We have Nia putting Lana through a table 88 weeks in a row, and we don't show any of them. It's just them standing there because they're stars. I don't want to see stars. People hate celebrities. Haven't you been paying attention? We don't want to see stars. We want to see wrestlers. Wrestlers who wrestle things. That's the opening. Nothing's happened yet, and I'm complaining. Randy Orton enters, and there's a graphic for Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. Why are we having this match? Yeah, I don't know why. Just because there's going to be a non-finish and 80 people interfere, so it's going to go nowhere. This is stalling to the Rumble season. And then Randy Orton cuts a promo to some computers, and he tells the computers that The Miz and The Fiend and Drew McIntyre want to take his title, and he won't let them because he would like to remain being champion. So that makes sense. And Alexa Bliss's music hits, and Alexa Bliss challenges Randy Orton for the championship. That is not true, but I've never seen the two of them compete before, so at least it'll be something fresh. And as Alexa distracts Orton, and Orton is expecting the Fiend Bray Wyatt to attack, he gets a Claymore from Drew McIntyre. Oh my goodness. Whoa, Nelly, that is absolutely bananas. What happens next? I forget. Oh yeah, the Miz and Morrison come down, and Miz teases his Money in the Bank briefcase. And if he wanted to keep more money in the bank, he can get a Chase credit card thanks to Kevin Hart of the Hart family. And the Miz has his briefcase, and they do. And this is why the fun thing about Money in the Bank is the teasing of the cash-ins, where it's become a trope now, but it's still newer, so I don't hate it as much. Where they don't actually ring the bell, but they just kind of they keep you guessing. So that's always good. And when the bell actually rings, people pop for a bell ring, and that's crazy. Whenever that happens. But anyway, Drew cleans house, and Miz doesn't get to do his cash in, and everybody's upset. So you know this is setting up a handicap match, and then it is. Charlie Caruso talks to the Miz and Morrison, and they set up a handicap match. What do you know? Jeff Hardy and Elias have a gimmick match with a guitar on a pole, and that's fine. But the announcers have already told us that we all know Jeff Hardy did not attempt vehicular homicide, and no one has decided to question or investigate as to who did attempt vehicular homicide. So I don't know why we're not looking into that. So Rainbow Bright defeats Bruce Springsteen by hitting him in the back with a guitar. And then, great line from Tom Phillips. Elias threw his stool at Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. Oh shit! He threw his stool at him. Get it? LOL. Poop. No way Vince didn't feed him that line. Vince loves poop. What happens? Oh yeah, Hardy wins. Yeah, I already told you that. This match gets 29 stars from my friend Wade Seltzer at the Wrestling Rubbernecker. Then we have we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, who are stuck on Raw, even though they're supposed to be able to defend the championships anywhere, but they only defend them on Raw. We don't know why. And they wrestle Dana and Mandy, who Asuka named the Sexy Muscle Friends, and I called it like 6 weeks ago. I told my main man Brian Yang. I said that is an awesome, hilarious, fun name. They'll never use it again because it was someone else's idea. And then Lana interrupts to say hello because she's teaming with all four of these women at a pay per view that's not on pay per view where they fight for nothing. And then Lana's on the apron for no reason, which is the hardest part of the ring, by the way. And when Lana's standing on the hardest part of the ring for no particular reason, there's a little bit of confusion, and Shayna ends up choking out Dana Brooke. So the tag team championships remain the same because they're not going to put it on the Sexy Muscle Friends. This match gets 72 stars. Charlie Caruso talks to Randy Orton because they that always goes well. I forgot what they said. I didn't write it down. It's been a day because we're trying to get a new leader in an office, and it's a whole thing. Nia Jax then yells at a blonde lady, and then AJ Styles shows up with Mr. Hughes, and AJ calls himself the captain, which I think is fun. And then Sheamus shows up, and then Keith Lee shows up, and Keith Lee is very unhappy. And then stupid goddamn Braun Strowman shows up, and somehow he's special, where he interrupts all of them, and he's not on a team, and he puts himself on a team. So the guy Adam Pearce, who used to be an indie wrestler, well, he's a successful wrestler, I shouldn't say. But I saw him at an indie when he was Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce in 2009 in Oceanside, California. Anyway, he puts together this stupid three-way, stupid goddamn Braun Strowman versus Keith Lee versus Sheamus. Why would Keith Lee and Sheamus fight at all to keep Braun Strowman off of their team? I don't understand the logic there. Like, wouldn't they just be like, "Oh, I hate him, but he's huge and wins most of the time"? So, what would they gain from getting beat up? What would they gain from getting hurt wrestling him just to get him off the team? None of that makes any sense. But AJ Styles was on commentary, and he hoped someone would win with a roll up, which I thought was hilarious. But stupid goddamn Braun does win the match, but not before Sheamus does this to Keith Lee, and I love this. He did his 10 beats of his bowels, or whatever it is, to Keith Lee. And the Keith did the big bump spot where he gives one guy an electric chair, and the other guy is suplexing the other. So that was fun, and they didn't beat Keith here. Stupid goddamn Braun Strowman pins Sheamus with his finish, 41 stars, and all the guys handshake and they hug, but then there's a bro kick to Keith Lee. Yeah, wait a minute, who did? Yeah, Sheamus kicked Braun. He kicks stupid goddamn Braun Strowman, and then AJ. Has AJ Styles just stopped trying altogether? He just gave it up. I think he knew what he was selling made no sense and was complete bullshit. So he just kind of, I don't know. He's feeding his kids. I think he mentally checked out on this night. This was not the most fun, and Mr. Hughes is not helping him. Then Drew McIntyre is also talking to Charlie Caruso. Charlie Caruso's job for the last 5 weeks has been to only talk to Drew and Randy. I don't know why she's not the special guest referee for any of these matches. Then we have a Firefly Funhouse, and they talk about the letters RKO. And Alexa Bliss did a weird thing with her tongue for no reason, and the puppets start cursing. And I don't understand. And then Nia Jax gets to wrestle again because thank God both of those made Hulu. We didn't put Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans or whatever the hell they were doing on Hulu this week. We didn't put who else wrestled? Oh, that the Tucker guy turned heel. He has yet to be on Hulu, so we don't know what happened there. And then the last two shows, and I guess the Tucker guy wrestled Ricochet. I'm assuming Tucker won. I don't know. I would imagine. Because why would Ricochet win a match? Yeah, none of that was on Hulu. So we go right to Nia Jax again, defeating Lana. 45 stars. Am I supposed to be cheering Lana? Because she's wrestling a very clear-cut heel and bully and monster Nia Jax, but if we're portraying Lana as unathletic and goofy, why am I supposed to get behind her other than the fact that Nia Jax keeps putting her through a table and making Lana take the entire bump for the 7th week in a row? I'm going to call that out every time, by the way, because that's bullshit. And they put her through a table, so I guess Nia was like the Captain Marvel movie in this match. So there's no part where she ever looks weak or has doubt or makes a mistake. She starts out awesome, is awesome in the middle, and then ends awesome. And people think that's empowering for some reason. It's lazy writing. But you gotta make the Samoans happy. The Hurt Business. Lashley said something about Sammy. The New Day kept calling Bobby Lashley Bob, and I think that's hurtful to me because that's my word. And then the New Day, they were fun, and this is like the New Day that we fell in love with. They were not taking things as seriously as someone probably told them to, and they said something about Bobby Lashley ejaculating early or something like that. Not so much on so many words. But something about lasting 8 seconds, I don't know. But this thing went on way too long. I think they rambled and somebody got lost or confused, or were they just filling time? I don't know what happened, but this went on. This went on. Then they had a match that was pretty good. So it was Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, the team of four first names, and they all wrestled Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston in a non-title match. It was not a championship opportunity for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships and for the WWE Universe and the WWE Thunderdome, which I can see on WWE Hulu with limited commercial interruption anytime I want on a mobile device. It was solid and not stupid, and I thought it was good. They made the most illegal legal tag I've ever seen in my life before the finish with Cedric and Shelton. It was like a back slap, but no one was holding the tag rope, and fine. And then the Hurt Business won with some kind of combination of two guys finishing moves. So they're doing that. I don't know what happened there. I wrote something down here, but I can't read it, so we're going to skip it. Nikki Cross runs into Alexa Bliss backstage. Hey, they finally addressed this after 6 weeks. But Nikki, who was a leading member of Sanity, and she was been dangerous and a brawler, and portrayed as totally unhinged and crazy. Now she's just Scottish, and this total badass, leathery, pirate-looking chick got freaked out because Alexa Bliss had spooky contact lenses. And then there was a handicap match with The Miz and Morrison versus the tag match with the Hurt Business and Kofi Kingston gets 700 stars. We have a handicap match. Finally, this is coming to an end. Miz and Morrison versus Drew. I hated this. I hated this so much. I don't like Morrison shaving his beard. He looks better with it. But Drew did the cool thing. He finally brought that reverse Alabama slam thing back because I guess Orton's 40. He's not taking that with his knees. So Drew does that thing, and he did it with slamming Morrison onto Miz on the outside. That was fun. It wasn't bad. Drew is they've. I think the bloom's off the rose. They made him so happy-go-lucky. He's not the badass. I'm going to interrupt you and kick you in the face with my foot, which is what you kick people with because I can, and I'm Scottish. He's just, I'll just do a move to bad guys, and I don't know. Maybe he's dejected too. I don't really know the answer. Or just him and Miz Morrison is just such a stalling feud, just putting off the rematch with him and Randy. That's inevitable. Drew wins the thing. Claymore on Miz. 1, 2, 3. The Miz goes over the top rope like an asshole. When you're thrown over regularly, not when you're getting clotheslined back or whatever, it's your left hand is supine or, your palm facing up on the top rope, and you reach for the apron, the hardest part of the ring. Hardest part of the ring. You reach for the hardest part of the ring with your right hand, and then you fly over. But he does it so that his feet are still beneath him, like he's hopping over. I don't know what the hell he does, but it looks faker than fake. Um, what's his problem? Go over the top rope, make it look good. Drew wins, and then he hits then he gets hit with an RKO, the three most destructive letters in sports entertainment. They've destroyed wrestlers, they've destroyed legends, they've destroyed bathrooms. He's destroyed everyone with his RKO, and then you hear the Fiend laughing, which is a great way for them to put him on TV with less appearances and maybe pay him less. I don't know, or maybe he just gets to go home early, just films the Funhouse stuff and goes home. Maybe it's a good deal for him after all. So that's what it is. We end with a handicap match that means nothing, and then RKO, and then the Fiend does a laugh, which is clearly setting up some kind of three-way, or at the very least a contenders match between Drew and Fiend, which may still be some kind of double Broadway blah blah blah, and then be a three-way anyway, or I don't know what the hell we're going to do. But basically, the match that we're spending all this time selling people on, which is either um, Drew Orton Fiend, or Drew Fiend, or Drew Orton Fiend, some combination of that match that we're putting all this TV time into is all for nothing, as we put as Survivor Series, we're going to do Reigns and Randy, who have said zero about one another. So why do I care? I don't understand why I'm supposed to care. You didn't make me care. I don't care. What's wrong with you? What's right is Ilya Dragunov and Walter on WWE UK NXT, WNXT UK, excuse me, at www.wwenetwork.com, COM, at WNXT UK. Those two guys, Ilya and Walter, chopping the bejesus out of each other, making everything look real. Just like Sheamus did with the 10 beats of the bowels on Keith Lee. I love the sound. And it's so helpful in these empty arena shows, or whatever the hell you want to call them. It's so helpful to have stuff you can hear. And it's even goofier to make the thigh slapping of the super kicks. It's even goofier when that happens now because that's not the sound that would be made if you were kicked in the face. Hulk Hogan didn't give you the boot and do the thigh slap. Oh man, wouldn't that be awesome if he did? Never mind, I'm wrong. I hope Hogan comes back and gives some guys the boots and he does the slap for the thigh. He's new age Hulk Hogan. He's all elite Hulkster. That was the hardest part of the ring. So the show, the Hulu version of the show, I don't get it. If you like Nia Jax always looking strong and never losing and getting comeuppance and selling that comeuppance or selling that loss, then this is the show for you. This is the show for Nia hurting people. This is the show for Drew being neutered. This is the show for Orton and his finish. This is the show for a Fiend laugh. Did I mention Alexa's goofy tongue thing? She had spooky contact lenses and she stuck her tongue out and it got long and gooey or something. I don't know what that was supposed to be. I don't understand it. They lost me there. But I don't know all the answers, guys. Just being the best Bob I can be is all I'm doing. There's these homemade calzones at the Acme supermarket in North Jersey. I had one. It was a Philly cheesesteak one today. It was so good. I'm going to go back tomorrow and get the buffalo chicken one. Hopefully they still have it. And it was really delicious. So I'm enjoying all the opportunities that those have afforded me. That was the hardest part of the ring. That's all she wrote. Hold the phone, stop the press, back the buggy up. Ain't my first rodeo, born tonight but not last night. I'm going to hit stop and end the recording. Please subscribe. Twitter at Bob Hansen Jokes. On YouTube, I'll put the Podomatic link. Does anyone go to that fucking website anyway? I mean, I think more people just watch on YouTube. I don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer, guys. I went to a gender reveal party. Showed him my balls. Okay, bye.